is a remnant rising. This remnant, it's not a single church, it's not a single denomination or people group. It's made up of people's hearts all over the world who, after all the pruning, all the heartache, through all the process, have finally reached a point in their journey and say, you know what, God? I'm yours. All of me for all of you. I want my life to look like yours. I am willing to learn. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to answer the call if you will be with me. It's time to answer this call. It's time for the remnant to rise.
Hi, welcome to RemnantTV. We are so excited to have you. Listen, there is a remnant of God's people that is rising all over the earth right now. These people, they come from all types of different backgrounds, different parts of society, different ages, but they are all making the decision right now to answer the call of God in their life. So we're super excited to have you today as a part of RemnantTV. Even more excited to have a special guest joining us today. She is just a powerhouse in the kingdom of God. She has her PsyD in clinical psychology. This woman is amazing, and this woman is joining us today, Dr. Marykaye Johnson. Hi. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Oh man, I just so excited to just have someone of your passion, but also your caliber, a part of RemnantTV. So I kind of just shared a little bit already about what you do, and I feel like I could go on forever about it because you are literally making so many amazing waves for the kingdom of God in the world of mental health. But here on RemnantTV, we like to keep it fresh. So how about you tell us just a little bit about who you are, but do it while giving us your best impersonation of your best friend. However this person is, all their mannerisms, just go for it. Let's see.
So you're talking about KK, right?
Oh,
so I'll tell you about KK.
Oh, well, KK then. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, KK. She danced all the time, but always had a niche for people. You would just see her just looking at you like that, just looking at you. Like, what's she doing? Why is she looking like that? But yeah, so it didn't surprise me one bit when she became a psychologist. She's good too.
Really?
She's pretty good. Yeah, she'll listen to you, she'll cry with you, and then give you that advice, and you go out and put it to the test. It's gonna be all right. It's KK for you.
KK. That's all. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Getting to know more about KK today. Dr. Johnson, thank you. Well done. Well done. Listen, you fit right in with RemnantTV, Madhouse, because we're all in the creative arts, so you just
absolutely
put right on that actress hat. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
For that.
I'm probably gonna get some feedback on that later.
Hey, we're ready for it. We're ready for it. So tell us a little bit about what attracted you to the world of mental health. I mean, how did you even know that you were called to that realm?
Yeah. Honestly, it started at a young age, a very young age. I think dating back to kind of 8th grade. In our 8th grade yearbooks, we would, we were tasked with putting down what it was we wanted to be. And there were two things that I listed, either a psychologist or journalist, because there was just this pull to tell the stories of people, but tell it in a way as far as the heartaches. What is it that we're really masking? What is it that we really want to say, but don't feel like you have the platform to say? What are those things that are causing our slow demise? And at that age, I don't think I understood what the pull was. But as I committed to learning more about psychology, it would definitely be confirmed with dreams, opportunities, so I know it was something that the Lord himself guided me to do. There's one particular instance that I can think of with the GRE. So, your scores that you need to get into grad school. Honestly, mine were awful. Just wasn't a good standardized test taker. But I remember interviewing for my doctoral program, and the doctor who was interviewing me just saying to me like, wow, I'm so happy that we offered you the interview, because if I went on your scores alone, you would not be accepted, but absolutely we're welcoming you into, our fall class.
Wow.
And that was just me knowing, wow, God, it's all you.
That's so amazing. And that definitely confirms that, God does call those who may not feel qualified.
Oh, yeah.
And
Have a praise break right there. But yeah, absolutely.
He calls us into the world that we're in, so that is amazing. Yeah. I would love to just kind of dive right in with you, Dr. Johnson, talking about mental health and the church's relationship with mental health. Can we just kind of unpack that? Because I feel like it's kind of become, or maybe always has been, a taboo kind of topic in the church, or just even in religion, because we're trying to bridge the gap between our spirit and our mind and our body, and trying to cover all of those. So just talk to us about the relationship with the church and mental health. How can we bridge that gap?
Yeah, the first thing is, I was just listening to you, that we have to do is recognize that the gap exists. So it can't be something that we turn a blind eye to. That also means that we have to begin talking about any disconnect that exists. And once we do that, that's where the work needs to be done. And making sure that we realize that one doesn't exist without the other, for us to be completely whole, for us to really just give our best in ministry and just everyday life, period. That we have to be whole, and we have to actually dissect those things that are causing us pain. We have to talk about it. We can't just minister to other people being broken. We need to really, really assess ourselves first, and just, hey, let me show you better than I can tell you about how I overcame certain things. We need to normalize certain things too. We cry. Leaders in the church cry all the time. Yeah. So it's okay. Yeah. We can't just, the weeping mother who comes to you for counseling, or you find out something's going on with their child and so forth. It's all right to say, you know what? Let's talk about that. And here's what happened to me. Yeah. So we need to do more leading by example, making sure that information is accessible.
Wow. But how can we do that? How do we recognize where we're broken, where we're hurting? Because a big part of Christianity today, at least in America, at least in the United States, we are taught, I have been taught, even if it's unintentional, to put on that mask and say, everything's fine, praise the Lord.
That's right.
Jesus is Lord, and He is, but I'm still hurting. How do we address that as believers?
We can stop playing church. So it's real, right? So this whole concept, I love what you said about putting on the mask. Who are we really? So when the makeup is gone, when our Sunday's best is gone, all of that, your hymns, your praise and worship, everything, when that's put to the side, who are you? How do you feel when you look in the mirror? And that's where we start. So we start by saying that, it doesn't have to be any type of appearances. Come as you are should truly be come as you are. And we have to talk about, we're saying things such as, sexual assault, finances, homelessness. These are the real issues present in, today's churches, and none of them are taboo. The moment we stop thinking they are, that's the moment where we see healing, come into play. So once we start addressing those topics, we're going to see people showing their authentic self, not playing church, and really making, you can use me now because I have nothing else to hide.
And you know what, Dr. Johnson, because I know our viewers, they are believers around the world, but there also might be people who are watching who don't really have a relationship with Jesus, or they're not really solid yet, or they're still just trying to understand more, And what you're saying, it's awesome for us to be able to address our hurt, maybe the things that we're not proud of, or the things that we desire to change, or they are unhealthy habits that we want to change. But how do we know who to go to today in the church? We have pastors, we have leaders, and they are amazing men and women of God who have dedicated their life to service. But maybe they're hurting too. So how do we pick and choose who is a good person to really help us find our healing too?
Yeah. I like to give a practical tip that I myself have used, because I'm not exempt from this either. One of the things that's really important is we connect. It's the same way you choose your friends, you choose individuals who you would, share a secret with. But trust is important, because you're right. You're going to expose something that might make you feel very much so vulnerable. And you want to look for that individual who is receptive. They're not brushing you off. It's that person who just makes eye contact with you, who gives you that warm smile. Possibly it's the greeter at the door who hugs you, and it's telling them just a little bit of, hey, I have this issue and I'm just wondering who I might be able to speak with. 9 times out of 10, they're going to be able to connect you to a minister, or maybe it's a ministry leader for the counseling ministry, or even themselves. You never know. Again, our testimony sometimes is not a degree, or you being ordained, and we have to stop looking for that too, because that's another thing that we do erroneously sometimes, is looking for only the doctor, only the counselor, only the minister, only the pastor can help me. You never know why that person went through some of the things they went through, and it could be by the power of their testimony that you get your healing, you get connected to the correct source or resources that you will need.
Wow.
So look for that friendly face.
Ooh. What did you say? Our testimony is not our degree. Come on now.
That's right.
That's amazing.
That's right.
That's amazing. So, you know what? If you are watching and you are being blessed, literally right now, like I am, by what Dr. Johnson is sharing, or you would love to partner with Remnant TV or be a part of our giving team to help support what God is doing through this ministry, please find us at www.theremnanttv.com, and we would love to be able to connect with you. We will see you in just a little bit. Be right back.
Yesterday is gone, today is brand new. I've traded the old and I've turned to the true. And I respond to your call. I will see a generation change through me. I am a seed, and I will see this generation change through me. Yesterday is gone, today is brand new. Yeah. I've traded the old and I've turned to the true. And God is calling me to come a little higher in hell. And as a chosen seed, I must die before I live. Oh, and I respond to your calling. I'll see a generation change through me. Yeah. And I will see this generation change through me. I am a seed, I am a seed. And I will see this generation change through me. I will walk in the calling God has given to me, and I'll see a generation change through me. I will walk in the calling God has given to me, and I'll see a generation change through me. I'll be the change I wanna see. I'll be the change I wanna see. After all, it starts inside of me. I'll be the change I wanna see. I'll be the change I wanna see. After all, it starts inside of me. Help me be the change they need to see, to be the change they need to see. Your glory shines for all the world to see. Yeah, I'll be the change they need to see. I'll be the change they need to see. Your glory shines for all the world to see. That I am a seed, and I will see this generation change through me. I am a seed, and I will see this generation change through me. This little seed.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Remnant TV. We are here with our special guest today, Dr. Marykaye Johnson, just talking about the church's relationship with mental health, right? And so, man, it's just been such a rich time with you, honestly, Dr. Johnson. But one thing I do want to touch on before we part ways for a moment is that we are living in times that are difficult. That is not a secret. That is biblical. That we are living in times where, Jesus is returning.
Yes.
He is coming back for a bride, his church, his remnant. And so there's a lot of things happening. COVID-19, the racial tension, happening, at least in America. But I mean, welcome to the world, America. It's happening everywhere. And so there's things that must happen. There's things that we can't change, and they're not really in our power to change, as just people. But how can we as believers, what are practical ways that we can maintain good mental health in the times that we're living in? Because we have to live in them, but we are also called to live in them. So how do we juggle that?
Yeah. Really being sensitive. The first thing that comes to mind, and by that, in our prayer life, which is simply a conversation, with our Father, but making sure that we're listening to what's being said, because there's nothing that we're going to ask that He does not have a response to. So we have to be sensitive to that response and take heed. The action is right there. You want to pay attention to the instructions that are given to you in prayer, in visions, in dreams. Make good on those. Keeping a journal, whereas you do not forget them, but you write down, so you can revisit it, and constantly just check little things off the list, making sure that you follow those instructions specifically. And we have to submit, because this isn't the season for us to be disobedient and out of place. The alignment is going to be so important with everything that you named.
Yeah.
So just making sure that we submit, and this isn't your life in the first place, So making sure that we do exactly what we've been instructed to do. Self-care. So just as well as we eat well and we will exercise to fit into that nice outfit, well, guess what? Mental health care falls under, self-care.
Yeah.
So what are you paying attention to? What are you feeding, your spirit, right? And by that, I'm saying not a lot of media, not a lot of negativity. Be careful who you're engaging in certain conversations with, because we know the power of the spoken word. We know what it can do to our spirit. We know the things that can dampen our light, and we don't want to do that. This is the time that we want our light to shine. So those are definitely things. And then mindfulness, relaxation. It's okay to say, I need a time out.
Yeah.
Unplug from certain things. So enjoy nature. Breathe in deeply without the mask when you can, when you're outside. There's certain spaces that we can make our own, but we can't neglect it.
That's so good. Thank you so much, Dr. Johnson, for your time today. Thank you again for watching Remnant TV. We will catch you on our next episode. If you or someone you know is interested in being a part of the show, or you'd like to donate and become a vision supporter for Remnant TV, we would love to connect with you. Visit us at www.theremnanttv.com, or you can send us an email to riseup@theremnanttv.com. Remember, there is a remnant of God's people rising up all over the earth, and we believe that you are a part of it. We'll see you soon.